It is now noon on this Sunday afternoon, and we're on your side with another update on the winter weather moving throughout the Midlands. Joining me now with a closer look at the track of the storm, Chief Meteorologist Efren Afonte, and Daniel Bonds has also been following along. Guys, it's been a busy Sunday for us today.
Yep, Daniel and I have been to is it already afternoon? Well, the key thing is that the weather is starting to taper off a little bit, but really not that much. Let me show you what's going on currently. On the radar, you can see we still have quite a bit of precipitation falling. Now, the good news is that a lot of it is starting to let up, which is a good thing, but still very heavy rainfall in the areas of Sumter, Lee County, especially eastern Lee County from Maysburg all the way down to I-95. And then you get into Clarendon County, lots of heavy rainfall and still quite a bit of heavy rainfall on the I-26, I-95 crossroads heading east to say like Holly Hill and Tugtown. But notice, overall picture is that everything is transitioning now to rain, which is a great thing. It's still cold out there, no matter how you slice it. All of our temperatures, at least for the ones that are reporting, and by the way, the ones that aren't reporting, they're probably frozen right now. But the air temperatures overall are at least above freezing, so that's a good thing. The bad thing is that the wind chills are still below freezing in many areas. And again, the big problem with that is that when the wind chills are below freezing, even though the roads look pretty good, as windy as it is, with winds gusting now still anywhere from 25 to 30 miles an hour, up above, those trees are continuing to move around, and as they flail in the winds, well, that's where we get all of these reports of the trees coming down. Now, all of this is continuing to move generally to the northeast. The only downside is that even though we're getting breaks, and for the most part this is just rain, it's going to continue at least for the next few hours, and then it'll start tapering off. Really, we should start seeing it tapering off as it is right now in the western Midlands for all of the Midlands within the next hour or so. Here's the only bad part. There is a lot of precipitation after the clearing that is moving through portions of Georgia, Alabama, and the Tennessee Valley, and that may swing around. And Daniel, the last track that you and I were looking at, it's actually tracking a little bit further south. So we're looking at the possibility of some of us seeing more precipitation after the break.
Yeah, you're right. And that'll be included with some of those cold winds, as you just mentioned. So we are expecting those winds to continue. There could be some more precipitation after this precipitation shield kind of moves on out. But as Efren just mentioned, it looks like a lot of that rainfall is starting to break up just a touch. Here are all the ice and fallen tree and tree limbs that have broken, at least the reports so far. We've got over 45 of those, and this is just a start. We'll be getting more of these reports as we continue through the rest of this afternoon and certainly into tonight. But here's our forecast model. This is how we kind of expect things to play out. And notice from the radar, what we're actually seeing lining up pretty well with what we're expecting. So we'll start things off at 1 o'clock, and notice the showers begin to come to an end. 2 o'clock, notice that shower activity continues to end. And then as that colder air moves in, basically from the northwest, there may be that small potential we could have a stray snowflake or two, maybe even a flurry across parts of the Midlands. Nothing to get excited about, but something we may can enjoy later this afternoon and this evening. Looking ahead towards tomorrow morning, we're clear, but the bad thing is it's going to be cold tomorrow morning, so any of that precipitation that's left over from all the rain we've had, it may refreeze, so that's something you'll have to pay attention to tomorrow morning. There will be that potential for some black ice. As we get into tomorrow afternoon, we should see a lot of sunshine. Our forecast models indicating some trace amounts to maybe less than 1/10 of an inch of additional ice accumulation for the northern half of the Midlands. That's the area that's still under that freeze warning. So that's Kershaw County, Fairfield, and Newberry counties. And so that freeze warning is still in effect. As we mentioned, there may be that very small chance we could see a snowflake or two. Again, that's not the major issue. It's the freezing rain. That's the bigger issue. So a couple novelty snowflakes out there across the Midlands. But tomorrow morning, you will have to watch, if you do happen to have to go to work, you'll have to watch that potential for some black ice. And so what is black ice? We've talked about this a couple of times. A very thin layer of ice. It's not really black, but it's basically transparent. And it makes the roads very, very slippery, and it being transparent, it's hard to see basically. It's clear, so you're gonna not really see it. By the time you realize you just rode over it, it's too late. You're kind of in a bad situation sometimes. But gradually that wintry mix will come to an end. High temperatures probably in the upper 30s, low 40s later today. 44 degrees tomorrow for your Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. And notice those temperatures do increase seasonable levels by Wednesday, and then it's going to cool down once again, it looks like, towards the end of the work week and into the weekend. And we will be tracking another storm system that may bring us some precipitation towards the end of the work week and into the weekend, but we'll worry about that later. We're still tracking the wintry weather this morning or this afternoon, and we'll be following that all day long.